Wow.
Holy crap! Yeehaw! Oh, look at that, yeah. We're finishing up our day here learning about the GMC Hummer EV. This is a beast on the trails. It's a beauty on the roads, and it's all electric. With over 1,000 horsepower, this baby can get up and go. It's got a rocket mode. They call it Watts to Freedom. I call it rocket because it felt like you're just getting slammed back in your seat as it took off.
When you're ready?
Yep. Holy crap! That is a rocket! I mean, that's more than a rocket.
It's fast. Then when you're ready?
Yep. Holy crap! That is a rocket! I mean, that's more than a rocket.
It's fast.
That is fast.
It's a good time.
Alright, we're ready to launch. Ready to launch? And I'm pressing the brake with one foot and then the gas with the other?
Correct.
Oh, I see. Torque, baby. And I'm building it up. And I see on the chart that goes up to the red, and then I let go.
Yep, so you keep building. There you go. So when it says...
Wait.
There you go. Down.
Woohoo!
And there you go.
Oh, you forgot to teach me how to brake.
So grab mode, we're going to use this 9 o'clock button on our moding switch.
Okay.
Just press and hold. Use the Unreal Engine graphics coming up. Seeing the circle fill.
Grab walk, baby.
Automatically engages our underbody cameras so we can see what's going on under us on the trails.
So those are back tires there?
So those are our fronts.
Fronts, okay.
If we want, we can switch so we can see the backs also.
And they're turning.
You can see them turn. So what this is going to do is the first 10 degrees of steering, you're going to go 1 to 1 front and rear wheel. And you get this great effect where you just kind of glide.
Oh, look at that. We are going sideways. Hence the crab walking. That's smooth. So is that full turn there, or is that...
No, I'm just going...
You're just doing 10 degrees.
Just a little bit.
You're just doing basically a...
Just enough.
Half turn.
Designed to get around an obstacle. If you're going to go up, going down a trail, push that a little bit too far, to correct for it, you'd end up pushing your rear wheels off. Crab, back, take another line, try again.
Wow. That is cool. My buddy Jeff is an experienced off-roader, and together we tested the Hummer EV on the trails outside of Phoenix.
So we're coming up to a really
like this,
bit right here, where I'm going to be right out on the edge and trying to avoid a rock here on my left. Which we did. Yay us.
Yes.
Yay Hummer.
All right, Jeff, first reactions, first impressions.
Wow, what an incredible vehicle. It is nimble, it's powerful. The electronic traction controls and the four-wheel steering really give you amazing grip in any kind of surface. And I can't say enough about these cameras. We have two camera views. We've got a bird's eye up here, and then we've got a forward camera view, which is great for off-roading because when you're heading up a hill, all you can see is sky through the windshield. And it shows you the terrain in front of you with these moving guidelines that tell you where the outsides of your tires are going to go based on your steering input. So you're able to get right out if there's a ledge on one side. You can take the truck right out to that ledge and have confidence that you're not going to go over the ledge using those guidelines.
I think we're finding that we're looking at the camera a lot more than we would normally do because you want to look at the terrain in front of you, but the camera is what gives you the real view.
Well, and the blocky part of blocky design of the Hummer also means that there's a huge blind spot to the front of the vehicle. And I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm not really this tall. I've boosted my seat way up to get a lookout as much as possible to the front of the vehicle while I'm driving. But the guidelines and the forward camera really help. There's also underbody cameras pointed forward and back, and so that'll tell you if you have to straddle a rock or something, you can see if you're gonna hit the skid plate or not.
Exactly, and it's just the other thing I've noticed is that rear wheel steer.
Yeah, the rear wheel steering up to 10 degrees, the rear wheels will go, and they're going counter to the front wheels. So it gives the Hummer a much tighter turning radius than you would expect. I have a vintage Jeep that I use for off-roading, and it's almost like driving a really short wheelbase Jeep. Okay, it seems like I keep saying one other thing to mention, but let's go ahead and do this. The Hummer has an extraction mode, where if you really well and truly get it stuck, you can raise the suspension, because it's got this air suspension, right?
Yeah.
Giant canisters. You can raise the suspension up to 16 inches of ground clearance, and then it'll do all the things. It'll rock yourself back and forth and everything else, but it will get you over at very low speeds. You know, some really spectacular obstacles that other vehicles just are never going to get over.
Not going to do it, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing to say about this vehicle is that you know, we are doing some pretty serious off-roading here. Mm-hmm. This is not any sort of sanitized for your protection playground that we're on. We are on a real off-road trail.
And the Hummer EV has made
short work of it.
Short work of it, exactly. We're finishing up our time driving the GMC Hummer EV around the Phoenix area. We got to go on the freeways and learn about Super Cruise, and really enjoyed Super Cruise, where you don't even have to have your hands on the wheel. Eyes forward, and it'll keep you in the lane. It'll also change lanes for you without even asking it to. It knows when the car in front of you is slowing down and there's a freeway lane open next to you. It'll turn the turn signal on and move it right for you. I love this new GMC Super Cruise. There's so many cool things about this Hummer EV. First of all, it's got a 350-mile range, so no worries about running out of electricity, about running out of fuel, about running out of power. In this Hummer EV, you've got plenty of range to really get where you need to go. But when you want to go off-roading, there is no better vehicle than this.
same spot like that.
Yeehaw! That's my driving impression. Yeehaw! This is a farm, a vineyard to be exact. And this is a truck. Farmers and trucks go together perfectly like a hand in glove, bread and butter, wine and cheese. And the most popular truck for farmers in history has come from Ford. In fact, America's best-selling pickup truck for more than 40 years has been the Ford F-150. So it's no wonder that when Ford introduced the all-electric version of the F-150, farmers took notice. We went to some vineyards in the wine capital of the nation, Sonoma County, California, to discover how wine growers are utilizing new technology from Ford Pro to help make their farms more efficient, profitable, and sustainable. First, we learned about how Ford provides data tracking services to help farmers keep their vehicle fleets up to date and optimized for best results. Then we heard about how Sonoma County ranchers are opening up to the idea of a fully electric truck that is specifically designed for commercial work.
You haven't heard, Sonoma County Wine Growers has been on a real mission for sustainability for over a decade. So back when that word wasn't being tossed around as much as it is now, we made a big commitment to be 100% certified sustainable in all of our vineyards. And we actually hit the 99% in 2019, something we're really, really proud of. As farmers, we're really fortunate. You're sitting on a beautiful vineyard today, and we have so much land that we can actually do a lot to sequester carbon. That was like a really easy place, frankly, for our farmers to start. So there are a number of practices. But the other part of the equation, greenhouse gas emissions, I wasn't sure we were ever going to be able to tackle that. Why? Because our farmers love their trucks. More than our tractors, because those get used, but the trucks are literally what powers our businesses as ranchers and farmers. I mean, they're on the road, they're going from ranch to ranch. This was just an incredible opportunity. And frankly, it was a real inspiration for us as local grape growers to really start to push our thinking on the farm of the future and what is our vision for farming in the future. And if we can bring partners like Ford Pro to help our growers write the case study, share the knowledge, help farmers around the world do better, then that's a win.
Next, we got to look at some of the differences between the commercial F-150 Lightning and its retail-focused sibling.
It's best-selling truck for 45 years straight. So we had one shot to electrify it and do it right. And as we did that, we knew that it couldn't be a battery on wheels because our customers for F-Series demand a heavy-duty truck because they play hard and they work hard. So as we thought through a lot of this, it was really about how do we make this truck just as good as the gas truck, and not just as good, but even better. So that's what we set out to do, is really purposefully designing this vehicle so that it is capable for all of our customers, whether it's retail or commercial. The Mega Power front is pretty much standard with all our vehicles. The difference between Pro and some of the series as you walk up is the fact that we purposely designed this for the commercial customers, right? There's no silliness here. So there's no light bar, right? Because that's not necessarily functional. It's pretty, but it's not functional, other than for zone lighting. It's got a mold and color grille. Again, very easy to clean, very robust, trying to keep it to very much, what is necessary from a total cost of ownership perspective.
Now it was time to test drive the new F-150 Lightning on the roads of Sonoma Valley. All right, I just got in to the Ford F-150 Lightning, first drive in this all-electric pickup truck. I gotta tell you, the very first impression I get as I sit in here, it's an F-150. It's a nice, well-appointed, high-end F-150 pickup truck. What's not to like? If you like the Ford F-150, it's a good start, right? Got everything. You even have the gear shift that folds down into the dash. But get past the fact that it's a F-150 truck, and then you get into the electrification, and that's what we're going to experience right now. Wow! You do not experience that in a typical internal combustion F-150. Let me tell you, that is quick. Just like electric vehicles are, this is very, very quick, smooth, and quiet. So we're driving electric only. There's no gas, and there's a lot of benefits to this F-150 Lightning. I'm driving it in one pedal driving, which means as I take the foot off the accelerator, you feel a pull, almost like a braking action in the transmission, and that is regenerating energy into the battery. Now, this battery is quite large. It's well over 200 miles on a full battery charge. Of course, using it on a daily basis, you'll be able to plug it in overnight, either at a charging station at your location, at home, or out on the road. So you will always have a good amount of range. And that solves that range anxiety that we are accustomed to talking about when we think about electric vehicles. First of all, there's so many things that are exactly similar to the Ford F-150 that we've come to know and love, but there's also many differences. Outlets that can help charge other things off of this electric battery, such as your power tools. If you're in construction and you're using electric power tools, you can charge them when you go from one job to another right here in the front trunk. You've got charging outlets, or in the back if you want. There's ways to charge other vehicles, and certainly even to charge your house if you have a power outage and you have your house set up to be able to take that power out of the truck and invert it into the power you need for your house. Around the hills in Sonoma County here, we've got a lot of grape growers, a lot of wine grape growers, and they use a lot of energy, a lot of gas when they're driving internal combustion engine vehicles. So they're very excited. I gotta figure, to get a fully functioning, hard-working, rough and tumble Ford F-150 that's electric. Of course, that's the key, right? That's what Ford and Ford Pro, with their Ford Pro program, is to integrate, to get farmers to understand the benefits of driving all electric. And Ford is working very closely with not only providing vehicles, of course, but providing the infrastructure for charging, and then on the back end, being able to take the data from all these vehicles and provide a one-stop shop for those farmers to know what their vehicles are up to, where they are, how they're charged, if they're charging, when they need maintenance, if there's any issues, because Ford has developed software programs to track all the vehicles and know the vehicle health and the vehicle safety, and the ability to keep those vehicles running and on the road, which is really the key for farmers. You don't want downtime of your vehicles. You want to keep them healthy and uphill entrance onto a very busy 2-lane highway. It gives me such good immediate power that I have all the confidence in the world of being able to get up and out and into the lane as quick as I need to. So much fun to drive an electric vehicle, and in fact that's what she was saying in the beginning, is how do you get farmers to, or ranchers or worker people who love their F-150s, how do you get them over into an electric vehicle? I'd say the first thing is to let them drive it, because once you drive it, it takes you no time at all to realize, wow, this is fun, and it's fast, and it's efficient. You don't have a rev up of an engine to be able to get you going and get you out there. You don't have that. You've got instant torque and instant movement, and it's fast and quiet. You can see that it's got just all the wonderful gadgetry that you have in today's Ford F-150 trucks. It's got the huge center touchscreen that has, in this case, navigation, but it's got all your climate controls, your seat settings. I'm on massaging seats right now. Let me tell you, I love the massaging seats. This is Dutton Ranch, which is being outfitted with Ford Pro EV charging stations to complement the solar power that has been an important part of the ranch's push for sustainability. It just makes good business sense to have an electric vehicle as your go-to ranch vehicle, because you're not going to burn a drop of gas. You don't have to deal with oil changes. You charge it up when it's needed and you drive it. And otherwise, the capabilities are all there. Ford F-150 Lightning, so fun to drive and so efficient and so sustainable. Farmers are opening their eyes to the electric vehicle world, especially electric trucks. And the Ford F-150 is here to make that happen. Traffic, and it says I've arrived. I don't know where I'm arriving. This is the Lucid Air. It's a brand new car from a brand new company. Built in a shiny new factory in Arizona, and it's all electric. It goes fast, far, and it is beautiful. And we get to drive it here.
So I'm Justin Berkowitz, and I'm the technology PR lead for Lucid, and we're in the Lucid Air Dream Edition.
First of all, the first thing about it is it's a completely different look for any dashboard, I guess you'd call it, than I've seen.
Yeah, so it features this is a 34-inch, they call floating glass cockpit display, and we have down here a pilot panel. This actually, if I press and hold, opens for storage.
Wow, so that's storage in there.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So
steering wheel and mirrors.
And it's up or down, so I'm going to go out a little. Yeah, it's coming out nice and quiet, nice and smooth. This is a full glass roof that is not interrupted.
We call this a glass canopy roof. The tint in here blocks out essentially all, as close as you can get to all UVA and UVB, and
Wow.
it's essentially the same standard as you'd find with high-end sunglasses, and 92% of visible light. It's also thermally insulated to block out infrared, so it keeps the cabin at a constant temperature. You know, you're not cooking.
How cool. I say that. Pun
I like
intended,
that,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So we have 3 driving modes in this car. We're in the middle of the 3. They get progressively more sporty. This is the Dream Performance, so it has up to 1,111 horsepower.
Is that, okay, only 1,100 horsepower? Look out!
And in this driving mode that we're in, we actually aren't even accessing that full 1,100.
Nope.
But still, you got a lot of juice.
That is serious power. We're gonna have to test out the upper end, but right now I got to get used to the low, the middle, right? The middle.
You bet, yeah.
And so where is that all?
Oh, I'm happy to help you with that,
no,
too.
That's fine. Let's,
so, yeah, we're in the middle mode. Let's go to Sprint. Sprint is our most sporty oriented setting.
Sprint is a very good description of it. Hi.
So in addition to getting, the most powerful setting for the motors and the drive unit, you're also going to get a more aggressive stability control profile. It allows you to play with the vehicle a little bit more, closer to its limits.
Man, that is quick. I'm losing my hat. All right, let's go back to normal, or Swift. Okay, Eco is this one, or
Smooth is your standard mode, yeah.
Smooth is standard, okay. Now that's a standard, powerful EV, I would say. It's not even like, you know, ID4, it's higher than that. But it's just like the race horses are being held back a little bit. Incredible design. It's floating, what do you call it?
The glass cockpit, they call it.
Floating glass cockpit. Yeah, so that's fun. Yeah, that's a fun EV right there, and that's the smooth mode. And you really got to keep your eye out for, or keep your eye on the speed, because it is very deceiving. So, how many miles on a charge? What's the range?
So for the versions of the Lucid Air we currently are delivering to customers, you get anywhere from, in the vehicle we're in, which is our most powerful model, with the biggest possible wheels, that's 451 miles of range on the EPA cycle, which is 10% more than the next best thing from any other company. That is right now the kind of, let's say, lower end of the Lucid range possibilities. We also have the Lucid Air Dream Edition range version, which goes up to 520 miles per charge.
And it's got, what, a larger battery? Is that the difference?
The battery pack is actually the same size in this, but the orientation of the car, the way it's set up, the way that the powertrain is optimized, is more skewed towards range, whereas this really leans more heavily on performance. And I should say that range model still offers 933 horsepower.
Wow. So that's an upper level. So in the meantime, this is 451.
Yeah.
451. Wow.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Wow. Woo! Wow. These G-forces are crazy. Do you have any G-force ratings? Like, what does that do to you? Any idea?
Yeah, I don't know if we have a formal measurement for that, but it definitely throws you in your seat.
Saturn V rocket. Ah! Wow. That's impressive. And I noticed that I'm driving, you do have clearly regenerative braking, I guess, by not.
We do,
Yeah.
and that's actually adjustable. So right now you have the higher mode of regenerative braking, more aggressive.
Okay.
I've just moved you down to standard.
Oh,
and you'll see it is not as aggressive in recouping that energy.
Not nearly, yeah. Now you can feel it, but it's a nice drop off when you let go of the accelerator, but it's not a drag like the other one is. And then again, that regen braking really helps on these curves. You don't have to go from pedal to brake. You will be regenning with that. And then how do I set that again to change it?
So you just press and hold on the drive mode, and this option comes up.
And then that's much more aggressive regen.
Exactly. This is the fastest charging EV on the market.
Really?
It is, yes. So that's partly because we have proprietary 900 plus volt electrical architecture. We have very special proprietary components on board for that charging. So we can hit peak speeds of charging or power level of up to over 300 kilowatts, potentially even up to 350 kilowatts. But that's just peak speed. One way we like to look at it is to say you can add about 300 miles of range in about 20 minutes, maybe 21 minutes of charging. If your battery is quite depleted, if you're close to zero, you could add 100 miles of charging in 5 minutes.
Wow, which is amazing. I mean, that's, filling up your gas tank and you're getting 100 miles, but that'll get you to where you need to go.
Certainly would, yeah. And for a couple minutes more, you're closer to 200 and even 300 miles.
And that's all because of the design of the battery.
So it's a combination of factors. The vehicle has been designed, first of all, as a totally clean sheet, which means there's no compromise made to allow for a combustion engine. It's incredibly aerodynamic. It has one of the lowest coefficient of drag ratings for any car on the market. But in addition to that, it has a smaller frontal surface area than other very efficient aerodynamic vehicles. So we're really losing very little to drag. We have also developed in-house our own motors and our own motor technology that we've designed and engineered, we've developed and tested, we manufacture ourselves. Very lightweight, very powerful, and very energy efficient. All of which combines to give really good efficiency. So for Lucid, the range and charging, it's partly due to a substantial battery pack, but it's also because we use the electricity, the energy in that battery pack more efficiently. On the Lucid Air Grand Touring model, for example, which has a range of 516 miles, it averages out to 4.6 miles that you can drive for every kilowatt hour of space in that battery pack. Way more than anything else on the market, and the consequence is, yes, we can offer really big range numbers, but we could offer a comparable range to a lot of the other vehicles out there with a much smaller pack, and that's really what gives you that opportunity.
Wow. So it's really that ground up, starting from scratch, designing every aspect of the vehicle.
Absolutely.
With the thought towards increasing range, speed of charging, and efficiency.
Efficiency overall, yeah. It's really the key. If you can be more efficient, then you can make better use of whatever the battery pack is, no matter what. And that has other benefits too. It means you can save weight, you save on manufacturing costs, you save on raw materials that you need. You don't need as much raw materials to make the vehicle because it's lighter and more efficient.
Interesting. And all built in Arizona.
Built in Arizona, Casa Grande, Arizona. It's the first greenfield EV factory in the U.S. And
when you say greenfield, what does that mean?
That means it's not adapting an existing automotive plant or factory. It's not taking over something that was used to make cars before. It's a new construction and built just for Lucid to be building EVs.
Wow.
In addition to the factory in Arizona, we have our headquarters in Newark, California, so just on the east side of the bay. That's where all the R&D work is done. It's where all the engineers are. It's where all the sales and marketing folks are. And it's our corporate headquarters.
And what brought you to Lucid, if you don't mind me asking? What was
It's such an exciting company, and the opportunity to be part of actually building this and be involved in the early days, these early phases. I mean, the company goes back a number of years, but in that they weren't quite on the market yet when I joined. It was really exciting, and I was just so blown away by the product that I thought, God, if I can.
Before it was ever built, you were blown away by the
the prototypes that they had out there, the specifications. When I got to learn more about it, that I thought this is really revolutionary. It's like next generation technology, and I wanted to be part of that.
And I imagine it is different than the traditional car company structure, corporate structure, or development structure.
It is quite different, yeah, and in some key ways. I mean, one of them is there's a lot more integration of different parts of the company than you find in most other car brands, car manufacturers. So our design team and our engineers sit close together, and they work on a daily basis collaboratively as they make decisions about vehicle design, about interior design, about what moving a wheel a certain distance in the design is going to do to interior space, to the suspension. Often these things go through very long processes at a traditional company. They have a kind of a formal get-together, but this daily give and take is really quite rare. And the same goes for software. We have really significant in-house software capability. Our head of digital spent 17 years at Apple running major projects, including the first iMac and Wi-Fi. So he brings in an integrated hardware and software perspective from a company that's really good at marrying the two. And so he's also very deeply involved, especially because in this car, software controls not just what you see on the screen, but how the motors operate, the battery profile, the charging, and loads of electromechanical things in the vehicle. So we can make as an over-the-air update, we can make a lot of enhancements, add new features, bug fixes, all kinds of stuff based on consumer feedback, based on what our owners tell us about the car and what we want to do. It also means we can add great new features over the air. The U.S. is changing its regulation for headlights to allow what they call adaptive driving beam headlights. This is similar to what's been in Europe for a couple of years. Headlights that are really smart. They can dim out just little individual areas, so you can have your headlights on at night and you don't blind a pedestrian, but it keeps on the bright headlights and the low beam everywhere else, just not in that person's eyes. So we're going to allow them in the US, and for a traditional car company that means you'd have to make a change at the factory in how the headlights are built, because Lucid's headlights are very advanced. They're solid state. There's nothing that moves inside them. They are very precisely controlled digitally. We can introduce that feature by sending out an update remotely, and one day it would be on the cars.
Wow, so very quickly, as opposed to putting it into the design process or the research and design and have it come...
And a lengthy production cycle, yep.
After a day of experiencing the Lucid Air Dream Performance vehicle, we got to hear from some of the designers of this beautiful sedan at a panel discussion where they talked about the importance of working in a collaborative environment with engineers and technicians to ensure that the completed vehicle excels in delivering top performance as well as stunning styling. Okay, we're back from our trip to Yosemite National Park, and let me tell you, if you've never been to Yosemite, you got to check it out. In fact, check out all of our great national parks in this country. Beautiful natural scenery, and Yosemite is stunning. You could drive through the valley floor, you could look up at the beautiful falls. This is springtime, we had lots of rain, and they were full of water. And we did it all in the 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness Edition. This is the second in the Wilderness Edition lineup for Subaru behind the Outback, which we tested last year. This color is ice silver metallic, and this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine producing 182 horsepower with a CVT continuously variable transmission and all-wheel drive. As we know, Subaru is so great at handling the twists and the turns, and in fact, this Subaru handled it wonderfully. With its load to the ground stability, you've got it covered with this Subaru Forester. In fact, this has an X mode feature that increases the capability in snow or in deep snow and mud. Now you can tell this is a wilderness edition of the Subaru Forester by those bronze accented roof rails. You've got the extra large all-terrain tires. You've got this black cladding and black matte hood. All really stand out and make it a really cool looking off-road Subaru. Now the Wilderness Edition has 60-40 split seats so that you can fold down those seats and have plenty of room for cargo through the rear of the vehicle. And you've got Subaru's eyesight controls, which give you adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and all the functionality, the safety to keep you safe. If the vehicles in front of you are stopped and you don't see it, or you don't see it right away, it'll automatically flash, let you know there's danger ahead, and if needed, you'll come to a stop without even hitting the brake. You don't ever want to do that, but you've got that built-in safety feature in this Subaru Forester. Interior-wise, it's got 3 different information screens that really stand out with all kinds of information, all controlled by buttons on the steering wheel or buttons under that center screen right there in the center of the dash. Another cool interior feature is the water-resistant seating. The upholstery is easily wiped clean when you get it dirty, and if you're out skiing or you're out hiking, you're going to come back with some extra dirt, mud, snow. Easy to clean those seats. This 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine is estimated at 25 miles per gallon in the city, 28 miles per gallon on the highway. For 26 miles per gallon combined, we got about 25.5 miles per gallon in our weeks driving to Yosemite and all around town. So a lot of freeway, mountain, and city driving in this Subaru Forester. MSRP for the 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness Edition. As tested, this came out to $34,165 for the 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness Edition. Go check out our national parks, and you do it safely and comfortably and capably in a Subaru. Check out the 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness Edition. This is a really cool Subaru. It looks cool, it's got increased capability, it's safe, and it's fun to drive. Can't beat it. Check it out. Some features of this Subaru Forester include a front view monitor. This in fact didn't work in mine. It seems like it may have gotten cracked or something. You've also got the bronze accents for the roof rack, and in the front here somewhere, ground clearance is 9.2 inches, so you've got increased ground clearance. All right, so we had a treat here today. This is a highly unusual Northern California rainstorm, and boy, it was a monsoon. In fact, we got hail, perhaps pea-sized hail, here in this storm in Northern California, Sacramento area. So we really need the rain. Don't know if it's going to be enough to make a difference with the drought situation, but the truth is, it's fun to drive in something other than bright sunshine. And yes, we are spoiled. We get bright sunshine a lot of the time, to our detriment, of course. But in any case, I was totally confident driving this 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross. Now, this is not your normal Corolla. We always know about the Corolla as Toyota's entry-level sedan for young buyers, for young families, inexpensive, highly worthy, and highly reliable. But this is an extension. This is the new edition Toyota Corolla. This is the crossover Toyota Corolla Cross, which means it has an SUV feel and look to it. No longer do we have a trunk. We've got now a tailgate and seats that fold flat, so we've got lots of room in the cargo area. So it's a crossover, hence the name Toyota Corolla Cross. I really feel confident anytime I'm driving a Toyota because of the Toyota Safety Sense package that has been developed over years. Collision assist, automatic braking, lane keeping assist. You got now the adaptive cruise control. Really nice to have in traffic and in inclement weather like we're having today. You've got Toyota Safety Sense ready to kick in with all the safety you need to make sure that you're going to be okay in an urban environment with this Toyota Corolla Cross. So the interior is pretty modern in this Toyota Corolla Cross. We've got an 8-inch touchscreen right here in the center of the dash like you do in many Toyotas nowadays. A beautiful dash LCD screen for all kinds of information that the driver might need. Got mileage, it's got range, it's got your audio systems, the climate control, navigation systems, all here on that screen as well. It's in the 8-inch touchscreen. Exterior wise, it's got beautiful roof rails on this particular model. Really good for carrying your overlanding gear or whatever you need. Lots of room up there, as well as seats that fold flat and lots of cargo space with the hatchback of the Toyota Corolla Cross. Now, I have been driving this for a week and I haven't done too much freeway driving. So the average mileage that I've been getting this week has been 25 miles per gallon. They actually say that you can get up to 32 miles per gallon on the highway, 29 miles per gallon in the city, averaging out to a 30 mile per gallon combined. Now, in my weeks driving this Corolla Cross, I have to say I've been kind of underwhelmed by the 4-cylinder engine. It got a lot of noise, but it's really slow with the pickup, so it's a real basic starter vehicle. But for a young family that needs cargo space, this might be the one for you because of the low price point. The entry-level price point for this Toyota Cross is in the upper $29,000. This had some extras added. Total price, as tested, $33,550 for this 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross. It's a nice entry-level vehicle for young families or active singles who need to have space for their stuff, and nice economical efficiency around 30 miles per gallon. Wow, was that ever a rainstorm that we had yesterday in the Sacramento area. We had hail, we had drenching downpour of rain, and through it all I was able to handle it with the all-wheel drive features in this 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross. The first generation small crossover under the Corolla nameplate, which has always been a staple for the Toyota brand. This one features the all-wheel drive. There's also a front-wheel drive available. This has a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 169 horsepower with the CVT transmission. It also has the Toyota safety sense that I counted on yesterday. With all that rain, I knew this car was going to be as safe as possible, dealing with the elements and dealing with the traffic within those elements. This has the black roof rails with activity bars. This also has an 8-inch touchscreen in the center of the dash. Plus, it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with 7 JBL speakers in the car. So you've got a nice sound system, and that connects to your smart device. Has a wireless phone charger right in the center, nice and rubberized, keeps it nice and steady. Heated front seats in this XLE version. And then there's also that cargo capacity with the seats that fold flat. It's got a cargo cover in the back. Lots of flexibility for cargo and passengers in this Corolla Cross. Also towing capacity of 1,500 pounds. In a Corolla? Wow, 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross. It takes all that efficiency and economy and expands it to give you more flexibility. What's not to like? Check it Okay, so we've been spending the week driving the 2022 Honda Passport. It's an all-wheel drive, and this is the Trail Sport edition. I have to make a disclaimer. I'm a Honda fan. I've always been a Honda fan. I've owned at least a couple of Hondas in my day, and I loved them all. Drove them all into the ground and got a lot of value out of them. They last forever. And this Honda Passport fits the bill with all other Hondas that I have driven. This is a midsize SUV, smaller than the Honda Pilot, but larger than a Honda CR-V. Right in the middle, that mid-range SUV that is so popular these days, and so many manufacturers have them. Honda has it in the Passport, and this really feels like a Honda. For one thing, it's comfortable. Inside, it is comfortable. It is not flashy. It's not going to jump out at you and say, look at all my bells and whistles, but it's comfortable, and it's got power, and it's quiet. And that's the hallmark of Hondas, in my opinion, as a Honda owner. So this 2022 Honda Passport is comfortable, it's definitely going to be reliable, and it's quiet. So it's a well-built mid-size SUV in a very crowded SUV field. Now the cool thing about this Honda Passport Trail Sport Edition is that it is built to go off-roading. It has all-wheel drive with a 280 horsepower, 3.5 liter VTEC V6 engine. So for a mid-size SUV, this has got plenty of power and really packs a punch. And with that 9-speed automatic transmission, you also have paddle shifters to be able to go in and out of manual mode. That really makes it fun on the road. The all-wheel drive makes it fun off the road, and altogether you've got a nice package midsize SUV from Honda. So the Trail Sport package comes with gray wheels and grille and bumper. It's got logo sets for the seats and the floor mats, and has orange interior lighting. Beautiful flat screen monitor in the center of the dash, again giving you more space for the cockpit and less technology space, as some vehicles have sort of an iPad feeling thing sticking out. This is nice and flush and smooth into the dashboard. There's a 7-speaker audio system, a wireless phone charger. There's plenty of room for storage in the center console here. Lots of really deep storage area. You've got back seats that fold down remotely, giving you lots of cargo space in the back. So the push button shifter right in the center, you press down on the P for park, you have to pull back on the R for reverse, you hit neutral if you need, but there's also a green box around the D/S drive/sport shifter. That's how you get going. It takes a little getting used to, but in fact it gives you a lot more space in the center of the console. You don't have a shifter in the middle of the way. Okay, I'm heading into the morning sun, heading due east to Placerville to pick up my grandchildren. As you often see, they make appearances in these videos. But I want to point out one thing that I like about this Honda Passport. It's got the auto start stop feature, and I happen to be stopped right now, and the engine apparently is off. This Honda Passport has a very nice, smooth, almost unnoticeable auto start stop feature. I like it. Good job, Honda. Fuel mileage for the 2022 Honda Passport with the V6 engine, 19 miles per gallon in the city, 24 miles per gallon estimated on the highway, for combined about 21 miles per gallon. In our week's driving, mostly city driving, we got about 18.8 miles per gallon from this 2022 Honda Passport. Starting MSRP for this 2022 Honda Passport all-wheel drive Trail Sport Edition is $42,470. All told, as tested, this came out to $44,090 for the 2022 Honda Passport Trail Sport Edition all-wheel drive V6. I've always been a Honda fan. I love this Honda as well. It feels like home, you know? Comfortable, safe, quiet, and powerful. This 2022 Honda Passport Trail Sport Edition is a perfect vehicle for an active family. Get off-road, be comfortable and safe on the road, and also have lots of cargo space. 2022 Honda Passport Trail Sport Edition. It does a Honda owner proud. Passport Trail Stamp, the new Passport Trail Sport amps up emotion and adventure, further advancing new rugged design direction. Passport is succeeding in keeping Honda buyers in the brand. In 2021, 7 of the top 10 trade-ins for Passport were Honda vehicles.